Before I even start with this video, I would like to just come clean and say, previously I have recorded a topic which was about failure. And I basically failed at delivering that video about failure. Give that a moment to sink in. Hello everyone and welcome back. Coming Clean continues on, and well, I'm in a bit of a festive mood, celebrating Eid and whatnot, and in the same time doing a lot of digging into myself. And one of the many topics that I have figured that I need to really come clean with is the fact that we all fail. We fail miserably in life and in a lot of things. One particular topic that definitely just takes a space, a mental space in my head, is basically failure. Do I even want to acknowledge the fact that I am failing? Do I want to come clean with the fact that I unfortunately failed? And many times I have also thought to myself, is this really something normal? I mean, obviously I also have to come to terms that failure is normal, because obviously you're trying. If it's anything, it's indicative of the fact that you are doing some sort of effort in order to progress in life, and at the same time not knowing that particular way forward, and as a result you fail. We all do. But however, I'm pretty sure everyone else as well struggles with the fact that, or actually doesn't want to admit to the fact that you don't want to fail, or you don't want to acknowledge that you are failing, because obviously, come on, who wants to fail? Who wants to admit failure? This particularly is also an unfortunate sign that we are already programmed to not want to fail, when in reality we're supposed to acknowledge and accept failure as a whole part of the process that we're going through in life, and that we're supposed to also acknowledge it, that it's inevitable. But the problem is, growing up, you are hammered, or not you, I was hammered specifically. This is the part where I need to come clean about. I have been hammered multiple times about my failure and how it is not acceptable to fail, and that if I have failed, there are consequences that wait for me that I need to deal with. Now, looking at it, when I was growing up, this particular process was a little bit narrow-minded, or not. I couldn't exactly see beyond this particular process, but now, as a grown adult, I can understand that even if you have gone through the process and you have reached that part where you're facing your consequences, then you're going to face your consequences. You're going to create some sort of workaround. You're going to go through whatever that annoying feeling, and then you will move on with life. This part of moving on in life, we were not taught. I'm not sure if there are people who teach other people the fact that you need to move on with your life and go forward, but we're concentrated more specifically on the failure part. We're so concentrated in not failing, and we're not realizing that it's okay to fail, but all that you need to do is just push yourself to move forward. Simple as as simple as it may sound, I guess this is a bit of a lesson that I still need to, go through. And one of the many other lessons that I also need to, admit and come to terms with are two particular lessons in life that I have encountered about failure. The first one was back when I was in university. There was this particular topic, and I know, I mean, oh my God, I'm now looking at it and I'm just laughing it out and realizing that it is nothing in the grander scale of things in life. Now, back when I was in university, there was this particular topic that I just hated. I mean, if anyone knows me on a personal level, they will know that I hate subjects that deal with numbers and calculations. And since I'm a marketing graduate, there was this one particular topic. There was this particular subject which was cost accounting. Yes. My friends know this particular story. But you know what? It's time to come clean about it, and it's time to just put it out on the internet and move on from it. So, cost accounting. This particular topic, what is with me and the word topic? This particular subject, I failed miserably at. Not once, not twice, 3 times. Yes, I have failed the subject 3 times. I had to do this subject 3 times. Yes. Whoa, and every single time I had to do the subject, I had to go through the exact same motions and drama and whole thinking process where my mind is hell-bent on not failing, but not realizing that even if I failed, I just need to push forward and move on. But eventually, I have passed that subject and I've moved on, and now I'm laughing about this topic and I'm looking at it, and then I feel that I have come to terms with it. And the reason that I need to come to terms with it is, again, the whole takeaway of this video. That whole concentration on failure rather than the concentration on needing to push through even if you failed. Yes, you fail in life, but you work your way around, and then wham bam, you find yourself in a better place. You find yourself over that particular obstacle. And the next failure story that I have is also a proof. I don't know if I should be saying this, but you know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna tell the story. Whatever. This next story about failure is, again, it's another story because from it I now understand how you just push through and you find yourself over that particular obstacle in life and you find yourself in a different place. So, the next particular story that I want to talk about failure is, once upon a time I have landed this particular work opportunity with a company. No names. It was my first time in that particular field. I will admit I have fumbled a lot trying to figure out my role, what I need to do, and the effort that I needed to put in that company. To be honest, looking back at that particular experience, all that I could say is that, hey, it's a learning curve. It happens to anyone. But the whole point of the story is that I fumbled a lot. I fumbled a lot to a point where I was asked to leave. Yes, I was asked to leave, kicked out from the company. Did it affect me? No. At that point, yes, it was a failure in life, and so it should be, so it should be something normal that happens every day, every now and then, that you fail. You failed in that particular point, or you failed in that particular context or situation. But what happened was that I found the power to push through, and I, instead of like sitting around moping about, the whole situation, woe's me for not for having this particular situation, I decided to explore a little bit more about myself and explore about what other opportunities that I can have. And one thing led to another, and I am now at a much more better place. The main takeaway from that story is that I did not let that particular failure hinder me from wanting to go out and explore and try and figure things out. And as a result, it took me to a much more better place. So here's the thing about failure. I know I have been dragging this for a good decent amount of time, but failure happens in life. Never ever think that it will never happen to you. It can happen to you. It can happen to anyone. Will you let that particular failure hinder you or drag you down? No. Choose not to let it hinder you or drag you down, but instead learn from it and move forward from it, onward to a much more better situation, a better place that you'd want to find yourself in, anything. And so I guess this is it. This is pretty much it about failure. Now go ahead. Now this might be an unconventional thing to say, but go ahead, go in life and fail. Oh, and on a side note, I was looking into the old footage of the video that I talked about for failure, and I discovered that I can't exactly salvage whatever footage that I have made. So instead, I decided that I am going to critique myself while looking and while I'm watching all these videos, that the old footage that I have recorded, that is. So stay tuned for that other video, that particular video. And again, go forward and fail in life.